All right, guys, go ahead, fire away.
I know the coaches nominated Sam for a spot on the Pro Bowl. I know why, but why did you guys do it? What did you like about it, the way he's playing?
I think Sam's playing at a high level right now. You'd probably have to check my math, but I think he's maybe second in the league in tackles. But when you watch the tape, he's a guy that plays relentless. Just the other night, he gets doubled, and it's tough to beat a double team. He goes down on the ground, pops back up, and is right there on the tackle. And then when you watch him block, he's doing a nice job. He's being the complete player. I think it's easy for people to say, well, he's getting down. We see tackles, we see him cover. They don't see him block, and he does a great job there too. So I've been real proud of him, and I'm glad he's on our team.
I know a lot of guys, they want to be on the 11th side. They want to put defense. I mean, or offense. I mean, what's his mindset to playing special teams? Is it something he really thrives in, or do you get the sense he still wants to be playing defense more?
Well, I think that's maybe a question that you guys assume. We always say that everybody on any team, everybody has a role. And what we say in our room is we want you to be a star in your role. And, am I always happy to see when our guys from our room go play more offense or defense? Absolutely. But at the same time, we know that in our room, fourth down we're not taking that play off. They understand that's very important. So it has the same meaning as an offense and defensive play. So he's doing good.
How nice was it for you to see Eddie bounce back the way he did?
I thought he would. He did exactly what I expected him to do. And we're only halfway through. So we still have a lot of things that we want to accomplish there, and you're only as good as your next game. So here going to go to Baltimore. It's going to be windy. It's going to be cold. But I expect him to play well, and he has a good mindset. So just real proud of how he bounced back.
How would you evaluate Shy in the return game? I know he's let a couple that he probably wanted to have back, but just how do you think he's done overall?
I think he's improving. I do. I think from where we started in training camp to where we're at right now, I have confidence in Shy, and he's getting more comfortable. I think anytime you have a first-time returner, there's going to be some mistakes that sometimes get magnified, and rightfully so, but decision-making and those things. Sometimes to learn how to make decisions is just to go through the process. And I think that the more he's out there, the more that's going to happen. So real pleased with him.
Are there any other guys on the special teams, kind of like Sam Franklin, that you think fly under the radar that should be getting more attention in your point of view?
Sean Chandler's is playing real well. I think he's tied with Sam in the tackles, and so is Ricci. I think whatever he is, fourth or fifth. Those guys are, all of them are, to be honest with you. And I hate singling out players, but I've been real pleased with the effort. Now, trust me, there's a lot of things we got to get better at, and we're going to be tested this weekend against a really, really good unit that's well coached. So I'm excited to see where our guys are after this game. But for me to single out one guy, I couldn't do it.
Harbaugh's one of the kind of legacy special teams coordinators who became a head coach. How does he, just on tape, how much do you see how he values special teams, maybe compared to other teams?
Oh, extremely high. I mean, they're currently number one in the league. I mean, their returner Duvernay is the number one kick returner in the league, number two punt returner in the league. They obviously have probably the greatest kicker of all time on their team, and they got a young rookie punter who's really, really good. And then when you watch their guys cover, they play physical. They get down there. You don't get a lot of things against them, and that's why I say it'll be a challenge. But you see Coach Harbaugh's imprint of special teams on their team.
When you watch them play, or as Mike said, their tape, do you ever see his hand show up in sort of game management, relying on special teams in certain situations more so than another head coach might?
Oh, no question. I mean, they'll run fakes from their own 10-yard line up 9 points. They're not afraid to play. I mean, when you play the Ravens, you got to play. And they do a great job. So, like I say, we have our hands full, and hopefully we'll get a little better day in practice and see where we're at.
It's been about 5 weeks since assistant special teams coach left the organization. I'm wondering how, when something like that happens, how is the workload picked up, distributed when changes like that are made for you specifically?
I have another guy helping me, and I have a daily routine of what I do on each and every day, a process that has to get done. This is my Monday routine, my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I've stayed with that, and divvy up the work accordingly.
It might have been announced, but who's helping you, Chris?
Cedric Whitaker is helping me.
How much more pressure is it in a game like this where you have a guy like Justin Tucker to really win that field position battle?
Well, it's hard. I mean, he's a great player, but the one thing about him, I can't worry about him. I mean, he's taking care of his own business, and we have to. When he kicks the ball, I don't know exactly what's going to take place, so I don't fret over that. But he's a guy that can move it around on kickoffs. He can kick touchbacks. He can kick it short. He can move it right, move it left. So that'll put some stress on you in the return game. But we got to be willing to accept that stress and go.
Johnny, you brought up Justin Tucker's legacy, but Johnny has had a pretty special one too at punter. What's it been like working with him on a day-to-day basis and having that type of player at that position?
It's been awesome because he's more than a punter. He's a football player, and for example, in training camp, I asked him to get up and install a kickoff return and go position by position, and he did it. And the point was, here's our punter who's never going to play on kickoff return but knows all the ins and outs of what we're doing. For the rookies, saying, really, that's a standard. Here's a guy that's on the all-decade team. But I've, selfishly as a coach, I've learned a lot from him. Listen to how he thinks, even during the game. What do you like here? What do you want to go with? And that's been a lot of fun, and it's helped me grow. So I'm blessed and fortunate that he's here.
To follow up on that, how rare is it to have a punter who is a football player, as you said?
It might not be as – I don't want to say it's rare because I've worked with a lot of guys that you try to teach them the whole picture and they understand it and comprehend it. But it's nice. It really is. Like situational football, to have him and JJ right there, it's outstanding because that's a lot of experience. They can go, hey, Johnny and I were talking today, hey, go back to 2014. Let's check something out here. This happened. And that's fun. I get excited about that.
It's been a while since we talked to you. I want to ask you about your range of emotions from the first time you guys played Atlanta to, Cincinnati, and then the second time you played Atlanta, the obvious one being the kicking game. What was that gamut like for you?
During the game?
No, afterwards, when you're decompressing. I mean, the emotions of that first Atlanta game, and then to get back on track in the kicking game. What was that experience like?
Well, I know we missed 2 kicks. I wouldn't say that we were off in the kicking game. The kicking game encompasses a lot of things. But when he missed the kicks, I got back on the plane, and I was excited. I really was. I said, here we go. We just hit adversity. And I believe if you handle adversity right, it'll buy you a ticket to where you thought you could never go. And I just thought that's here we go. It's here. And how are we going to respond? So I was more excited about it and the challenge because I know everyone sees a missed kick, and God love him, he's not the only guy in America that's going to miss a kick. He's not. But I was glad how he responded. And like I say, we still have more work to do. I mean, this is the next challenge. Just because we got through the Cincy game and the second Atlanta game, you don't go, oh, hey, we've made it, we're in the clear. I mean, we kicked yesterday. And it was about winning yesterday, as Coach says, and I believe the same thing. So he had a nice day yesterday. We'll do Jiffy Lube today, and to set us up for tomorrow. And then if we do the right things, it gives you a chance to be successful on Sunday. It doesn't mean you'll be successful, but it gives you a chance, and that's all we're looking for.
Jiffy Lube like a what, football drill?
No, it's fundamentals. That we do a bunch of fundamental stuff without kicking a ball, so we can get muscle memory and steps, foot placement, all those things without taxing his leg.
Yeah, understood. Back to the original question. How much does your history with Eddie, the reason you brought him here, help give that confidence that he would, and the unit itself would work through?
I just thought it would. I mean, what he went through in Chicago to win the job, I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like that in my entire coaching career. And he made a game winner in Denver. Then his next game-winning chance against the Chargers, he missed it, and he hit a great ball, and Mother Nature took it and pushed it right. And then he comes back and he hit a game winner for us in Minnesota. So I've been there with him before, and I believe in the kid. I really do. So that made it easy for me.
Anything else, Coach?
Thanks, everybody.